Hello and welcome to day 2 of the Drennan Knockout Cup final. If you've been following this story so far, you'll know that Ian Didcote is £11 in front of Simon Fry after day 1 on the River Wye. Today we're at Docklow Pools and the weights I think are going to be better. Potentially we've got weights here up to £100 in prospect today, so it's going to be an interesting battle. Simon's got £11 to pull back, as we know. Mark Williams has joined me again and he's been overlooking the competition for the first half an hour. How do you think it's going?
I think it's still even. I would say that lead hasn't really changed much at all. They've both started on the Waggler, fire and meat out. Simon's sort of got an area of features to fish to, and he's gone straight there. He's had a few chub, a couple of small carp, but Ian's in open water and he's done the same and he's caught similar amounts of fish. So in terms of the lead, which is the important thing, in terms of Ian, it's still good because he's still ahead, and Simon's yet to try and make inroads into it. It's interesting because they're also both feeding other lines here, there and everywhere, just to try and give them time later on. Who knows who goes on it first and who catches, could be a big difference. I mean, they've
both started off in a similar way today, haven't they, with Waggler and luncheon meat. Simon at some point has got to take some sort of gamble maybe to try and catch a carp or two, I think. Do you?
He wants one carp.
Yeah.
If it's a big one, you know, it could be a small one, but if he has a 10 or 12 pound carp, all of a sudden everything changes. Because then he's back up, he's with Ian, and he's ready to go, you know.
And they've both ended up on the pegs they want to be on?
Yeah.
Interesting one. Who's your money on?
It's too tough to call.
Yeah,
I don't want to stick my neck out because anything can happen. We know what fishing's like. One fish can turn this either way.
I agree totally with this, man. So I hope you enjoy the match as much as we're hoping to enjoy the match, and we'll see you later on.
Well, there's an hour and a half left of today's match. I've been joined by Grant Albert, last year's champion and still the current champion. Grant's been sat behind Simon for most of the match and he's been keeping an eye on what's been happening and see where the lead is. Where is it at the moment and what's happening?
With an hour to go, I think now Simon is definitely in the lead. He's pulled back the £11 from yesterday that he was behind on the river. They're saying Diddy's got about 30-something pound. I've got Simon down for 70 on a clicker.
Really? Okay.
So I think he's definitely ahead.
He's obviously fishing the long pole and catching carp. What's he using to do that?
Well, he's used one of my meat cutters that I've got made special. It's a 3mm meat cutter. A lot of particles going in, so he's just he's half filling his cup up rather than putting it in big pots.
Okay.
Brings the fish up, start far looking quite a lot of fish then.
What do you expect to happen now? Because Ian he's been trying to catch silvers, but it's not really worked. He's gone onto the Waggler, and Simon's basically sticking to this long pole line. Is that how it's going to pan out?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I've told Simon now just to stick on that island. There's fish there. Ian's sort of, you know, going backwards and forwards on the pole, on the Waggler, and it's not quite working for him on the pole. We practiced the other day, silverfish. You could only catch so many, and then they would back off. So okay. I think Simon will definitely stay on the island now and fish it up till the end.
Excellent. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Should we go and have another look?
Definitely, yeah.
Go on, fella.
Happy with that?
Yeah, if you say so, Dan.
94.4.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Well, it's been an incredible 2 days. After 2 days of fishing, the grand totals are Simon £120.10 and Ian £108.6. There always has to be a loser, and that's probably the hardest part about events like this. Ian, you've had a great journey. It's been a brilliant competition, and £12 behind in the end. Nothing in it, was there really?
Well, no, I know. I mean, I just had nowhere to go with like trying to catch a big fish. Simon's Island was, it was just very, very good, and kept sneaking them out. And
now this morning, I mean, when we did the draw, you were happy. You were happy to get this peg. I mean, what was your game plan today as regards how you were going to approach it? I mean, it hasn't gone to plan, has it? I don't think.
No, it hasn't, because basically, in practice, we found that we've been here a few times, and the carp just shut up shop after an hour, and you can't catch them. And if you do catch a carp, it's a tiny little stocky, and it's worthless. And
so your plan was based around what?
Fish for silvers after a few carp, and that.
Right.
And, that's what I tried to do, but the silvers weren't really having it. I think maybe the cold rain over the last couple of days have put them off a little bit, but just couldn't get them lined up properly. I've just, I've had a great day's fishing, but
just not quite enough.
At the end of the day, I mean, when Simon's catching them 6, 7, 8, 9 pound, it's difficult to try and keep motivated to keep doing it, So.
Mate, I see you gutted. You fished a brilliant series. So. You've done ever so well. Next year, that'll be yours. Cheers, pal.
Cheers, mate. Thank you, mate.
And on to the 2009 Drennan Knockout Cup champion, Simon Fry. You've had one hell of a day, haven't you?
It's been great, Dave, yeah.
I mean, I've watched you playing ducks, I've watched you lose your pole to a carp, I've watched you have geese jumping over your pole sections, and I've also watched you catching £94, so talk about your day.
Well, I've had a great day. I mean, I wanted to draw peg 6, as we discussed. Funny enough, Diddy drew the peg that he wanted, and I was on this one, so we were both kind of happy with the draw. My plan was always to try and catch fish from the island. Came down and fished it for 3 hours. Can't remember when, last week. And there were fish on the island, and I thought with it being mild that would always be the case. So I started on the waggler over to the stumps, lost a couple of fish early on, a couple of small chub, a couple of stockies, and I had a look on the island probably after 50 minutes, I think it was. And I had a couple of carp fairly quickly, and then just had a steady match really. So and I've had, as you said, a carp pull my pole apart at the 13-metre joint, swim around the back of the island, but conveniently swim back again. And I've managed to just jump in the edge and rescue the pole, and had the carp still on. So yeah, I've had a nightmare really. It's
been some journey. This competition has been some journey for you.
Yeah, it's been
I
fantastic.
know it would have meant a lot to both of you to win it. It means a lot to all the top anglers to win this competition. But how does it feel?
It's fantastic. I mean, it's, as said all along, it's such a good competition now, that the diversity of the venues, the types of fishing you've got to do, from tiny squat matches we've had to carp on steroids, as I've said, and the River Wye, big powerful river, the Thames, a feeder match for bream. It just even Woodland View, Packington, they've all been completely different venues. You've really had to have your wits about you to. You've got to be an all-rounder, I think, in this event.
Absolutely.
It certainly suits all-round anglers.
Brilliant, man. Yeah. Well, that just about concludes the 2009 event. It's been a fantastic competition. If you've been following it all the way through, you'll know that's been the case. Next year, it's going to be even bigger. We're going to start off next year's competition with around about 100 anglers. Then we're going to go down to 64, so we've got an extra round, and I'm sure this man will be there, and we'll be there as well. So hopefully we'll be back and we'll bring you a great competition again next year. So see you then. Cheers, mate. Well done.
Cheers, Dave. Thanks a lot.
And nice to be a winner, of course, and we've got a brand new trophy this year. I think you'll agree it's a fantastic piece of silverware. Peter Drennan prides himself on putting up great trophies for events like this, and hopefully over the next, God knows how long, we're going to get loads and loads of names on. The trophy's going to get bigger and bigger. You win this time round with a grand total weight of £120, 10 ounces, picking up £2,500, and the trophy, Simon Fry.